What are you doing at my home?
I'm here because I have a way to get your Renoir back, but I'm gonna need something from you.
And what exactly is that?
Give your ex the villa in Bordeaux and guarantee she never pays a nickel of upkeep.
And why would I do that?
Because you asked me to get that painting back, and this is the only way that's gonna happen.
No, I mean, why would I do that when your firm is about to sign my biggest competitor?
What are you talking about?
I just learned Samantha Wheeler's about to sign Delta.
God damn it.
See, I thought I made it clear that if I sign with you, it is because I trust you. Using me as a stalking horse doesn't make me feel like I can trust you.
Gavin, that's not what's going on here.
I told you that painting is personal to me. I'm gonna tell you why. My father was not a wealthy man, but he had an education. If there's one thing he appreciated more than anything, it was art. Every Sunday, we'd go to a different gallery, we'd walk through, he would tell me everything he knew about every painting there was. You know who his favorite artist was?
Renoir.
I paid $8 million for that painting. It's worth twice that now, but I would never sell it. Because every time I look at it, I think of him.
Gavin, I told you I'll get that painting back, and I will. And I'll tell you something else. There's no way Samantha Wheeler's signing Delta goddamn Airlines.
Thanks. Alex, what a pleasant surprise.
Cut the bull. I just found out you're going after Delta Airlines.
Not just going after, it's practically a done deal.
That was fast, since you only talked to Delta after you found out I was pursuing Gavin Andrews.
One had nothing to do with the other.
And I said, cut the bull. You did this because you knew you'd either sign Delta and I'd be out in the cold, or Gavin Andrews would accuse me of using him as a stalking horse and I'd be out in the cold.
If you're so sure of that, then what are you doing standing here ruining my morning bagel?
I'm here to tell you to back the hell off.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
Listen to me. I don't know how you did things before, but around here, we don't stab each other in the back.
Then what do you call going after my old client for the sole purpose of making me look bad? Because I'm not gonna let that slide. Not to mention, I warned you, Gavin Andrews isn't worth the trouble.
You don't want to look bad or the client's too much trouble? Which one is it?
It's both. And if you can't see that, then it's not my problem.
What I see is you standing between me and a client. And if I were you, I'd get the hell out of the way.
Well, then you better sign your guy fast, because I'm already on the 1-yard line with mine, and I'm about to punch it in.
Alex, we need to talk about Samantha Wheeler.
What does that mean?
It means she's making a play for Delta Airlines, and I want you to stop her.
Delta would be a huge client. Why would I want to stop her?
Because she only went after them to stop me from signing Gavin Andrews, and teammates don't do that to each other.
This teammate talk sounds great, but you just went after one of her old clients.
I didn't choose Gavin because he was hers. I chose Gavin because he was the most valuable client to Robert Zane. The fact that he was hers just wasn't going to stop me.
Wasn't going to stop you, or was icing on the cake?
What difference does that make?
Well, considering what you're asking me to do, it makes all the difference.
Lewis, after Zane ended up as managing partner, I wanted to take her on. But you said I should make a friend of Zane instead. So I went after Gavin to impress Robert. And if you're not going to stop her, I might as well have just gone after her in the first place.
All right, Alex, okay. But giving up a client with 8-figure billables is going out on one hell of a limb. So I do this, you better deliver Gavin Andrews.
I will, Lewis. You have my word.
Samantha Wheeler, you and I need to have a little chat.
Lewis Litt, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Oh, you know who I am.
Well, a man like yourself needs no introduction.
That is very kind of you. But I'm not here for you to blow smoke up my ass.
Let me guess. Alex realized he wasn't going to stop me on his own.
He realized that you were trying to undermine him, which is why I'm here to tell you that you're going to stop pursuing Delta.
I don't believe this. Are you seriously coming in here to tell me I can't sign one of the world's biggest airlines?
Yeah, I am. And this isn't a discussion, it's an order.
I hope you've had a chance to think long and hard about this. Because I'd be careful what you wish for.
You trying to intimidate me?
Just giving you a little advice.
Well, listen here, sweet face. I get it. You're the it girl. Well, you know who I am? I'm Lit Man. And you could try to sashay your 6-foot frame around here like you're Brigitte Nielsen in 1985. Turn me into a puddle, get me to capitulate. Well, I got news for you. It's not gonna happen.
All right. I'll drop Delta.
I knew you'd see things my way.
But someday, you're gonna come asking for a favor. Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but it's gonna happen. And when it does, I'm gonna remember this conversation. And Louis, if you think I couldn't turn you into a puddle, you're wildly mistaken.
So we're clear you'll drop the client. I have to go somewhere now.
I'm sure you do.
Is that what I think it is?
Renoir. Signed, sealed, and delivered.
Mind telling me how you pulled it off?
Absolutely. As soon as you hand me a signed engagement letter.
You know what, I'm gonna do you one better. Why don't you take out your phone and check out the latest edition of the Journal?
I don't believe it. You issued an announcement saying we're your new attorneys.
I told you, you're my guy, and I don't mind the world knowing it.
So, where do you want this?
I don't give a shit, because it's not gonna be here long.
What?
I'm shipping it to the Cayman Islands, where a certain airline company's gonna pay me $55 million for it.
I thought you said it was only worth 16 and that you'd never sell it.
Well, that's the thing about art. Value is in the eye of the beholder. I want you to behold this.
You want me to onshore $55 million from a blind trust in the Caymans? Gavin, I have to tell you, this looks a hell of a lot like laundering money.
Well, then it's a good thing you don't know that for sure, because if you don't know it, you can do it, and you're going to do it.
I get it. You gave me a bullshit story about this thing having sentimental value to rope me in. Then you put out an announcement saying we're your attorneys. And now, if I don't do this, you drop us and the world thinks we shit to bed inside of a day.
You catch on quick.
I'm not doing it.
Maybe you will, maybe you won't. You better think about how you're gonna explain to Robert Zane how you signed me and lost me inside of 2 days.
Alex, whatever it is, I'm meeting a client for dinner.
That's okay. I just have one question. Did you know
Know what?
that Gavin Andrews was gonna ask me to launder money for him? I don't believe it. You knew it the whole time.
No, I didn't. But I knew he was gonna ask you to do something.
Then you and I are gonna go upstairs and figure out how to get out of this right now.
Are you out of your mind? I'm not going anywhere near that man's account.
Yes, you are. Because you knew my history and you let me sign him anyway.
Are you kidding me? I brought up your history.
And you knew I was in no position to trust you.
And what was I supposed to do about that?
You could have given me some goddamn specifics. Because there's no way you didn't have something that would have convinced me you were telling the truth.
And how was I supposed to trust you wouldn't use whatever I said against me?
I wouldn't do that.
Oh? So if I'd said, hey, Alex, don't sign this guy. He's gonna ask you to cover up a murder. You aren't gonna use that?
Is that what he asked you to do?
This conversation is over. You made your bed. Don't come crying to me because the sheets are dirty.
I'm not gonna cry to anyone. I'm gonna tell Zane exactly what this man is all about, and we'll see what happens when he finds out whatever shit you did.
You don't think Robert knew? Why do you think he didn't fight for Gavin's business when we left Rand Caldor?
You're saying Zane knows you did illegal shit?
I'm saying Robert Zane knew what kind of a client Gavin Andrews was, that I knew how to handle him, and that I stopped wanting to.
Then help me get out of this.
Why should I?
Because we're on the same team. And that's supposed to mean something, especially when it's about breaking the law. Please, Samantha. I should have listened to you, but I have a family. I can't afford to do something that'll hurt them.
Okay, Alex. You are a family man. He is not.
What are you saying?
I'm saying you're the kind of man that would go to any length to protect your family. Gavin Andrews is the kind of man that would go to any length to protect himself.
Is it done?
It's done.
Good. Wasn't so hard, was it?
Not for me.
What's this? What the hell did you do with my money?
I found you a legitimate business opportunity.
The goddamn Cayman Islands?
Funny thing, most people want to repatriate their money, which means you can make a pretty sweet deal by investing locally instead.
You can't do this. You don't have the authority.
I do now, because you're looking at the new trustee of your account.
That's impossible.
Is it? Pretty smart making your niece trustee to insulate yourself. Of course, when I told her you set her up to take the fall if authorities ever found out where your money came from, she was more than happy to sign over control to me.
I don't believe you.
Pick up the phone and call her. She's kind of pissed at you, though. Thanksgiving might be weird this year.
You son of a bitch, you sold me out.
No, Gavin, I didn't. I did what's in your best interest, regardless of the fact that you're too stupid to see it.
You're fired.
I don't think so. Because if I can do this to you, imagine what I can do for you. But if you ever ask me to do anything like this ever again, I won't just turn you in. I'll sign over every nickel of this trust to your niece and every other relative you've ever screwed over. Are we clear?
We're clear.